How you guys doing? This is self-defense and martial arts philosophy. Back at it again, and I just want to cover a topic that I hear a lot and I see a lot through the martial arts and self-defense community on YouTube, and it is when is it right to defend yourself or when is it right to fight someone? Um, and really, it comes down to a couple of different things that you should be asking yourself when you feel threatened, and one of them is a big one, and it's what are you fighting for, and is there an option to fight or to run? You know, not physically run, but you know what I'm saying. Just get out of the situation if you can. And what is the threat level of the situation? Are you in the car with your kids and someone brake checks you, or are you out and about and someone bumps into you or bumps into one of your kids, and they don't say sorry, and it rubs you the wrong way. These are the day-to-day life things that we go through as people, as working people mainly, because we're always out and about and just around other people. And if you're already in the martial art community, if you've already been studying a certain art, or you carry a gun, your demeanor is already different, your mindset's already different. Maybe you can handle yourself better, maybe you carry yourself a different way, and you take on situations a little more differently than just a normal person with no experience, and maybe doesn't know how to fight, or maybe can fight but they're unsure of it. We'll always handle something different, because it's confidence. It's confidence in yourself, and it's a pride of things. You're a martial artist, or you can fight, and you fight, and someone bumps into you, you're just like, oh, let's do this. Let's scrap this out. Then that's not a good way to carry yourself. It's not a good way of thinking. It's just going to get you into trouble, because you're going to end up fighting for something that's not worth fighting for, and serving some time, or really hurting someone, or you getting hurt. You know, and that's another thing that never really gets talked about is you going into a fight and you're confident and you know what you're capable of doing, but you end up getting hurt in the process, and there's no pride in that. So it's really looking at the threat level. Can you get out of the situation? Is it worth fighting for? Who is with you? Is your kids with you? Are you with your brother, your sister, maybe a friend? And even that can, even this question can become a bad thing of who's with you. Maybe you're with one of your friends that he has a temper too. So not only that, you have to examine the situation, is it worth fighting for, but now can you calm him down if your friend's telling you, oh yeah, man, just fight him, beat his ass, blah, blah, blah. You have to have the self-control and the discipline to say, you know what, man, despite of what you're telling me to do, I'm not going to do that, because you're just following what he's saying, and in the moment he's not really caring about what happens to you, you know, and that's just something to think about. Um, what is the cause of the threat? What is the cause of the fight? Is it something that you started? Maybe not intentionally, but by accident. Maybe you bumped into somebody. Now the coin is turned now, per se. Is that maybe it's not someone bumping into you or someone hitting your car. Maybe you hit their car and it's by accident. Then what? I mean, if you hit his car by accident, someone's car by accident, and they get out the car and they're like, let me beat your ass, man. You're like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even mean to hit your car, man. Let's talk this out. That's something that needs to be thought about too. Is maybe you're the one that is initially starting it, and then you have to calm the situation down, telling the person, hey, I didn't mean it. Let's talk this out. We both have families, blah, blah. Communication, even during a moment like that, you need to be able to have and do. Um, because my opinion, the only real time that you should be, thinking about fighting is when he's not willing to talk it out. When you notice, when you've seen, maybe, someone bumps into you. I know I keep on talking about someone bumping into me, but it's starting off with a connection, physical connection, and it could easily upset somebody. And so maybe, someone bumps into me and I'm like, oh man, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't see you, or, there was no room for me, and it's also your demeanor of coming off. I would try to be as calm as possible during the situation, be like, hey man, I didn't mean it. If he doesn't take that the right way and he comes forward towards me in an aggressive manner, then, I need to take the distance and then prepare myself to defend, because now he has not been willing to talk this out. He's now closed the distance and gotten in my bubble, and now you have to be ready to fight. It's things like that where you can't run and the talking is done with completely. Or they're just taking no for an answer, which is a lot of people are like that now, and it's sad because it's a sign of respect. We're all people. We're all trying to get to place. We're all just trying to live without any problems. And it seems like nowadays it's the most simplest of things that cause us to fight each other. And it's a communication. It's communication and understanding each other and where we're coming from. Someone breaks into your house, well, that's your area, that's your bubble that they're breaking into. And maybe in that situation, there is no time to talk. But if you had a gun, like I said, it goes down to, who's with you, what's around you, your surroundings. You have a gun, someone's in your house, you know, it's up to you now. It's now your moral standpoint of, am I going to shout out, hey, I have a gun, get out of my house. And if you don't, I'm going to shoot you. You know, it comes to that, down to that kind of thing. If you're out in the street and you have a knife, it's, when am I going to draw this knife? When am I going to decide? When are you going to decide that, I'm going to pretty much play with this person's life? Or am I just going to try to talk this out? Or am I going to try to fight with my hands first? And if I start to lose, then I'm going to draw my knife. It's all these things that we need to think about as martial artists, as people that, have families, and we need to defend ourselves and our families and this and that. That, the things that we carry, and even your car, in the moment of adrenaline and flight or fight instincts, sorry for that, guys. When we're in our car and someone gets out of the car, our initial thing may be to just hit them with the car, And is that the right thing to do? Yes or no. It depends. Maybe they have a knife, maybe they have a gun. And, if it was me, someone has a gun or a knife, I guess they're getting hit with the car, or I'm going to go around them. It's things like that. And we'll cover more of that, in the future. But it's just something to get you guys thinking and to open up more about, because not a whole lot of people cover this kind of thing, that, communication and the things around you can definitely affect what's going to happen to you when you are confronted by somebody, when the little things do happen. And are you going to let them blow up, or are you going to let your pride take over? Just things like that I want to bring up to you guys. And, if you guys have any questions or comments, I hope you guys have comments, and, leave them down below and I'll answer them, and I'll make another video about it. And thank you guys so much.